Alright guys, this is Breaker and I am back with game number 2 between History's Cloudy and NucleaR. The upper right hand corner is of course Cloudy. And in the upper left, it looks like this time around we got NucleaR. Now I'm not entirely sure how the ECL tournament system worked out this time around, but I do want to go and state that, as you guys saw at the loading screen, NucleaR is actually GM rank on the mainland China server. So that means he's in the top 200 players for that server. Once again, I'd also like to go ahead and stress that basically a Platinum League player on the Taiwan and Korea server is equal to, more or less, a Masters League player on the China server, which actually fits my description, I guess you could say, perfectly well. Right now I'm looking for the volume control on my microphone. Here we go. Oopsie, that's a little bit too loud. There we go. Fixed. Okay. So, supply depot in a forward position. I wouldn't be surprised to see either one or both players actually go for a double base opener, if you will. I mean, just straight up throw down a forward command center, straight up throw down a forward nexus, if you will. And it looks like Cloudy's not going to have any gambles. But, NucleaR, I honestly gotta say, he's one of the stronger mainland Chinese contenders. Cloudy did basically win against him in game number 1 from the replay pack that I downloaded. And that's about all I got so far. I just wish I knew more about the Hist clan. I think they had a few members that entered the ASIA StarCraft League. And I tried to memorize these guys like they were the back of my hand. ASL has been one of the greatest privileges I've ever had to cast in English. And it looks like with this kind of opener, what we see coming from Cloudy is he's going to try and capitalize on getting some, I guess you could say, some forward sentries out. Ooh, but NucleaR, you know, he's not doing anything too terribly strange, or so I feel. He doesn't have any gas going down, and he just built a second barracks right here to just, I guess, play mind games or something like that. Well, hold on. I don't know why he did that, really. I can't really say, don't play Terran, guys, sorry. I played the once Imba race, the now no longer Imba race, Zerg. And NucleaR comes back after seeing that basically it's just, you know, basic layman's opener, and, oh, he starts a bunker. Not an engineering bay. Alright, so now it looks like the probe was actually attacking the, bunker for a while there, not the SCV directly, and it looks like this is going to fall in a matter of seconds, so excellent play from both players, I guess you could say. But the one player that has more losses in all of this is definitely NucleaR right now, as you can see. Yeah. Not only that, he's actually lost delayed mining time on one SCV, but yeah. Stargate now going down for Cloudy, so we're going to see something I think maybe similar to later on in the game, or last game. It could be a Phoenix Colossi kind of composition, and for the time being it seems as though NucleaR is basically abandoned anything that could be considered quote-unquote gimmicky. I think the Phoenix Colossi play is basically the one reason why he's abandoned this route, or this, I guess you'd say, this Mass Banshee Viking and, what is it I'm looking for? Mass Banshee Viking and Hellion play. All these Marines trying to chase down this one Zealot, and I think they actually have the same movement speed, but I can't say with certainty. No, I can't, no. But the Zealot is slowly but surely just kind of getting out of grasp there for the Marines. And with this, oh man, this could actually be kind of big, but there's almost enough energy for a Nexus cannon here. And the foot, or not the foot, oh wow, that's actually pretty big. Well, if we see, on the off chance that we see the Mothership Core actually fall, then that means, one, there's not going to be enough energy for another, excuse me, there's not going to be enough energy for another Nexus cannon already, I can tell you that much. And the Oracle comes in and helps to hold. So this is an economic damage done already, guys. That Oracle was actually supposed to pay for itself, and there's a second one on the way to actually make up for that. Sure, he killed no workers, but at the same time, you know, he forced his opponent to spend, if you will, all of his resources on that one Oracle, and a missile turret finishes up in the natural just as Oracle number 1 arrives there, with only enough energy for perhaps 1-2 kills on the SCV line there. And now we see NucleaR throwing down a factory. Excuse me. So far, so normal, or so I perceive it. But we do have a robotics facility on the way. No robotics bay yet, per se. A bay to get the Colossi into the mix. Red Health Oracle swinging around, trying to find, you know, some holes in NucleaR's play. But for the time being, it looks almost as though, you know, he's almost too... He's not too exposed. I don't think there's really any damage that can be done to him right now. I need to take a huge miss blunder, but so far I think he's doing good. Natural pylon going down. Nothing. Okay. Wait, where's that Colossi tech? Okay, there we go. That's about it. Oracle's coming back in, trying to get some pickoffs here and there. Delaying buildings, delaying tech. Delaying the starport. That was actually kind of big. Okay, so beyond all that, we actually have double gas going down at the natural. And that's about all I can say so far. One Colossus is going to be on the way eventually, but I guess for the time being, Cloudy has to make sure that he can see his opponent and what his opponent is doing. He's got to put this observer right outside the front door and make sure he can see everything. So, there we go. I think we have 3 observers. Yes, we do. We have 3 observers. That's kind of, I wouldn't say steep, but it's going to allow him to get just that much more vision. That's really all he needs. And Colossi are now in the mix. No extended thermal lens being researched just yet, interestingly enough. But our 2 oracles, our tag team of oracles, still alive. Only 2 worker kills to his name. Cloudy is kind of, you know, just biting the dust a teeny bit there. And, oop, pickoffs, not pickoffs, but rather just keeping tabs on his opponent. He can see everything, and 1 medevac is basically the only thing that is not observable there. Excuse me. So this is how much effectively Cloudy sees. This is in case you guys don't play Protoss or you've never played Protoss, but yeah. Ooh, and now throwing away those oracles, trying to cut off a little bit in the way of reinforcements. And everything's been exposed. He sees all of this, but NucleaR doesn't see all of this. So I'm wondering just what he's trying to do by doing this. Maybe he's trying to force units. Maybe he's trying to make Cloudy feel a little bit less secure. I can't say. I can't really see what he's trying to do with that. At any rate, +1 attacks finished up to this point, and +2 is just about to finish up. Engineering Bay number 2 we're still waiting to see. And wait a minute, hold on. No extended thermal lance yet. This could be big. This could actually be a game-ending mistake that puts NucleaR back in this series. But again, I can't say with clarity, I cannot say with certainty whether or not that is the case. Still, we can't see NucleaR kind of directly. We cannot just watch him directly engage into this. It will not. You know, he just can't charge up that ramp. If he gets over-eager, overzealous like that, then it could end up costing him the game. SCV is now being pulled along for the ride, and Protoss is perfectly well aware of that. There's actually a few Vikings out on the map. Yeah, okay. But there's also a few more Colossi out on the map. Or, not a few more Colossi, but a few more Phoenixes. Getting a little over-eager with those Vikings. And for the time being, we actually see 1 Phoenix fell and all of that. And the Viking count is so precious because they are the only thing that can counteract the Phoenixes, which are now just going to kind of cut off any reinforcements in the way of Vikings in the near future. But, I mean, 3 Vikings being produced at a time, I think there's very little in the way of mistakes that NucleaR can make here to lose this. It would be nice to get 1 or 2 ghosts into the mix, but with 2 base economy, I don't see that happening. They are rather expensive. And the longer we see extended thermal lance going unresearched, the more we're going to see NucleaR in a fantastic position to engage this, but not up his opponent's ramp. You don't want to do that. Mothership Core falls, more time being bought, and extended thermal lance is about 30 seconds away. And Cloudy is just absolutely aggressively chrono boosting that out to try and get himself back into this game, into a fighting position. And there it is, the scan. He's actually aware now. He's like, oh man, this guy doesn't have extended thermal lance. I can probably snipe 1 or 2 of those Colossi, and my bio can just protect me. But that's not going to be the case just yet. The Vikings, oh boy, here we go. The forward engagement, 4 Colossi, all with extended thermal lance, now finished, pushing back this entire blue bio ball from NucleaR's brains that he did not cough forth enough in time to actually stop Cloudy. I want to say perhaps the biggest thing that was working against NucleaR in that last engagement is the fact that he didn't know that his opponent didn't get started on, extended thermal lance for such a long time, and now his opponent's pushing him back. He's punishing him for this. And there's going to be a reinforcing pylon here at the natural ramp. I don't see NucleaR holding on for too much longer. He's only got 1 medevac over here to heal all of this bio. And now the Phoenix, there are the Phoenixes, but the Colossi aren't falling rapidly enough just yet. As long as we can see the Marauders able to take down the Stalkers adequately enough, and then the Vikings take down all the Colossi, I think we'll see NucleaR in a somewhat stabilizable position. But at the same time, there's some reinforcements coming in from behind. The forward reinforcement pylon not quite done yet. Pulling SCVs to defend would have been appropriate. Vikings now landing to help with that instead, and it looks like for the time being we're going to see NucleaR hold and push back his opponent, but the forward pylon's up, so are we going to see reinforcements coming down? It looks like perhaps. And now, like, the supply difference, it's not too terribly severe. It's actually even-ish. Even-ish. And beyond that, NucleaR is actually, he's getting himself set up to take a 3rd, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him turn that into a planetary fortress or an orbital command. Either would be actually acceptable at this point in the game, and basically we see the same shenanigans in this game that we did in the last one. But I want to say the biggest thing that just worked against NucleaR so far has got to be that awful engagement here that we saw earlier. He's trying to push back, and I don't know if this is going to work out or not. But if he overextends here, it could mean GG. Scan goes down, picking off an observer, blinding Cloudy. But this observer sees that there is still a 3rd orbital command here and ready to go. Cloudy kind of just a little bit ahead of his opponent already, putting down his own 3rd, but NucleaR not quite scouting that just yet. He's thinking to himself, okay, well, I've dealt out massive amounts of damage to my opponent. Maybe he's a little scared to push out. Maybe he's reluctant. Maybe he could be saving money to actually push back at me, and that's it. But overall, I would say that he should assume the most appropriate of scenarios, and that would be basically his opponent's saving money and trying to find the opportunity to push back at him. Scan goes down and observer is revealed. Oh, wait a minute. I think that was a misclick. That was confusing. That really was. I saw 2 explosions, but I don't want to hit back on the replay button just to figure out what it was. So, yeah. 3rd orbital command up and running, fully functional. And I think that's what's really going to boost NucleaR's economy here. But Cloudy at the same time. I mean, that last engagement, it just worked so far in his favor. It really did. Everything except for pushing back to his opponent's natural and really taking, well, losing all of his main army basically worked for him. It's very rare that you actually see a person lose that many Colossi and still exist to that stage in the game, but now it's coming down to 5 Phoenixes, 3 Colossi, and I'm thinking this is actually, I think, perhaps an engageable army that we could see NucleaR a move into, but to make the huge difference, he's going to need the ghosts. Speaking of, he actually has the Ghost Academy in construction right now. When we see the nuclear launch go out, I'm definitely going to zoom in on that, but looks like we got one Marine coming in here, stimming up. Got away with a probe kill, or two. But this of all things, NucleaR, why? Okay. I guess that's how it's going to work out. The scan going down, trying to reveal the positioning of Cloudy's army. I don't believe these SCVs were scouted whatsoever. I don't believe it was spotted that they're along with the army or not. But this is not a point that we can see NucleaR favorably engage into. In fact, it loses a few Marauders there to force field. And right now, this is actually looking pretty good. I mean, the sky composition for NucleaR, he's got domination with the Vikings, but at the same time, Cloudy, he's got a few Stalkers on the ground, but as long as the Stalkers are engaging those Marauders head-on, I think we're going to see NucleaR somehow find a way to manage himself around this. Let's try to get... Trying to examine the army supply. Worker supply is actually in favor of Cloudy, and so is the army supply value. So I wouldn't be surprised to see NucleaR lose this, but he doesn't have any ghosts in the mix here to actually throw out any EMPs. The Phoenixes kind of trying to mop up those Vikings, with the Vikings taking down all the Colossi. The Phoenixes now left into the mix, but all the Vikings have fallen just as we see NucleaR kind of moving forward into this, where once there was hope, it seems now there's nothing but a basically reduced, extremely reduced Congo line of reinforcements. And the Phoenixes, which are so quintessentially important to the task of destroying the Vikings, also make up for no ground units by picking up the Marauders and holding them up in the air for the Stalkers to shoot out as they please. There we go. GG. Game number 2. Taken again, yet by Cloudy. That was rather unexpected, and if you guys liked what you saw here today, just go ahead and click on the subscribe button. This is Breaker. I'll see you guys next time.